Hi, I'm Bry Cox with BryCoxWORKSHOPS.com. For this week, I want to talk about a consultation I had with a photographer who needs to refund the money for a wedding that he/she shot. We'll say she. Okay, so before we get to that, just so you know, I have full courses on my website, BryCox Workshops, BryCox Workshops. Full courses, including a lot of free videos if you're kind of new and just want to check some things out. And they're not unsubstantial free videos. Like, they actually have a lot of substantial information that you can just take and start using right now. All right, so I got a call from a photographer, kind of wanting to know what to do. And here was the situation. She had an out-of-town wedding out of the country and got turned away at the border, couldn't shoot the wedding. And got sent home. And then now the clients want their money back, and she was wondering what to do. So the question is, what would you do, right? Because in her mind, she's saying, yeah, but I incurred a lot of expenses. I had to pay for this flight, even though I didn't get to do it. I flew all the way there, flew all the way home. I had to turn away all the work, right? I mean, and then we take like how much you make for a wedding. Some of it goes to expenses, some goes to this overhead, some goes to here. And in the end, some pays for, and she's like, how much of that do I return? So here was my answer, and for a few reasons. One, I said, absolutely just, even though it'll hurt, refund everything, 100%, refund their money, and completely apologize. And on top of that, offer to do a free shoot where you'll make them something nice for the wall, on top of what they didn't get from you. And she's like, so you could sell them stuff? No, not so you can sell them stuff, just as a pure apology, just as a sign of goodwill. Now, right? So that one, that's what I would do. And why? Why? Because money, and here's another story. A few years ago, I had a photographer email me, and she was like, yeah, I shoot these, like, what was it? I think it was preschools, and they're mad about the quality and the fact that I haven't gotten their images to them, but they don't understand how long, I've had this problem in life and I've had that problem in life, and it's been a few months and I haven't gotten their images, and they want their money back. What should I do? And I was like, yeah, give them their money back. Give them their money back. And she was like, this photographer, the second photographer, wrote me this scathing response of like, you don't know me, you don't. And I was like, why did you ask me my thoughts or opinions? And then she just, not only, it was on Facebook, and not only did she block me, but she wrote me this angry all caps email and then blocked me. And I'm like, why ask me a question if you're not going to take? Because my response was very similar. I was like, look, here's the thing. The money you get is society, your clients, thanking you for a service or a product. And if there's nothing to thank you for, why should they be thanking you, right? If you didn't perform let's just say it's not even out of the country and you got turned away at the border, or even let's say it is out of the country, but let's say maybe there's some disaster and that plane, instead of landing where it's supposed to, goes clear across to a whole nother country and you just miss it. You miss the wedding. Or maybe you have a wedding in town, but there's maybe a huge wreck on the freeway and something else happens and there's construction and whatever happens, and now you're 3-4 hours late and you just completely miss the wedding. Like, what do? Right? Yeah, you didn't perform. Your job was to be there on time and perform, and you didn't. And so absolutely you have to refund the money, because yeah, you lost business. Yeah, it took you time. Yeah, you should have been paid and all of that, and you could argue all of that. But in the end, from the client's perspective, you're a professional. We booked you months out, and all we ask is that on this day you're at this spot doing what you're supposed to do, and you're not there. So in the end, yeah, and then here's the other thing is they can possibly sue you for more than that. And so you need to limit your liability. One, you need a good contract, and two, you need to be a member of PPA, Professional Photographers of America. It's ppa.com. For a few reasons. One, they will help you with contracts. They have some pre-written contracts. They have lawyers on staff. And second, if you have a problem, first thing you should do is call them and say, hey, I need to talk to one of the lawyers. I've never had to do this, luckily, but that's what I would do. I'd call them and say, look, here's the problem. I was supposed to be at this wedding. This and this happened. I couldn't show up. But this is what happened. I couldn't show up. And what do I do? And they'll say, all right. And here's the second thing that's nice about PPA is they also offer an indemnity trust, kind of like insurance, but it's not insurance, it's a trust, where every time we pay dues, a little bit of that goes into a trust, and that can help you refund money if you need, reshoot, rebook flowers, rebook tuxes, limos, to redo and say, look, my contract limits my liability to how much you paid. I'm going to pay all that back, but at the same time, we're also going to set up a whole reshoot. And it may not be exactly on your day, but we're going to reshoot this, or we're going to make it right. And that's what the indemnity trust will help you do, so you don't have to just come out with thousands of dollars out of your pocket, which is especially hard as a small business like us, which is low volume, high dollars. It's really hard to just come up with thousands of dollars on the spot. Okay, so the last thing to think about is this idea, in my mind, where I kind of see the spectrum of integrity and love of money. And a lot of times as business, and all business decisions always has to do with money. You have to make business decisions based on money. But in the end, I want to know that no matter what, I've given people more than they paid for, and that in 20 years, 10 years, 30 years, whatever, looking back over the scope of my business, that I can feel really good that no matter what, everybody who paid me got more than what they got, more than they paid me for. That I give them more service, more whatever. I've went out above and beyond, and I never kind of scrimped and tried to take a little bit more. Instead of always giving more, I'm always on the higher giving end, on the integrity side. And if there was ever a problem, that I more than compensated, right? Really tried to make it right. So in this case, my suggestion would be, since they're out of the country, absolutely refund their money. Talk to them, say, look, I want to refund this. Maybe it's going to take me 2 or 3 months to have to make payments to you back, if that's okay, because not everything goes to this wedding. There's a lot of expenses that this has already gone to. Nevertheless, I need to make it up. Or, right, take it out of emergency fund. Hopefully you have an emergency fund and you're running your business that way, and just take a hit and eat rice and beans for a few months and just send them the money. But on top of that, then I would suggest, and I also, on top of this, want to do a free shoot for you and make something nice for you all. I know I couldn't be there for your wedding, and you got somebody else, and you lined up something else. In the meantime, though, I still feel bad and want to create something amazing for you, completely free of charge, that I'm going to ship to you. And if they live locally, if you can do something locally, and you're a member of PPA, hopefully, you guys, then, right, try to set up some other things like maybe a reshoot with new flowers, tuxes, dresses, re-rent, those kind of things, and do everything you can to make that right. Because it's not about that one shoot. It's about the think long term. How are people going to think about you? How are they going to talk to you? Talk about you with their friends. How is this perception of how you run your business going to get out and about, right? It's not always about doing the right things when everything's easy. It's about doing the right things, especially when things are extra difficult and there are problems. All right, photographers, if you have a question for me, I do consultations. You can give me a call like this photographer, but you can also send me a question that I can answer on my Q&A, and also go to my website. Lots of great content there for members, or a lot of high-end stuff, as well as some free stuff. BryCoxWORKSHOPS, BryCox Workshops.com. And until next time, America.